everybody and happy new year. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me for my first video of 2025. I really hope you had a lovely festive break and have had a great start to the new year so far. I'm really excited to get back to YouTube and get started on another year of sewing and creating with you. Having said that, we're not hitting the ground running here. We're not doing anything crazy. I'm a big believer in January being a slow month. So today we're going to be making something easy and breezy with a fabric that is making me feel really inspired, something that should be really gentle and nice to sew as well. So let's talk about the project. I am going to be sewing this pattern here. I've made it a few times already and it's a favorite. It's really easy. It's really elegant and I have the most gorgeous fabric to pair with it, which I think will hopefully get a really nice result. I picked up this beautiful floral velvet just before Christmas. I've been looking at this for ages, but I've been avoiding it because it's not particularly my colour palette. It's full of cool tones and I look a lot better in warm tones, but I just couldn't resist it. It's so pretty. I love this rose print. And I've been saving loads of floral velvet dresses on Pinterest recently. It had to happen, I had to get it. So that is the fabric of choice. This fabric is a velvet knit fabric and this pattern isn't designed for knits. However, the skirt is cut on the straight grain, and the last version I made of this, I made in a lightweight satin fabric, and I found that because it wasn't cut on the bias, it was a little bit clingy around my tummy. So I think in the velvet, it'll actually drape really nicely, and I'm hoping it will look fab. A tried and true pattern and a really beautiful fabric is the best way to get your sewing motivation back. Okay, so everything is cut out. Time to start sewing. I'm going to be trying out for the first time the Mariflex? No, it is Mariflex, sorry, thread. Basically the stretchy thread that's been designed for knit fabrics. Hopefully you can see that. It's got a little bit of give, so you can sew with a regular straight stitch as you would with your woven garments, and it won't break when you're putting your garment on and off. It feels really substantial actually. It hasn't got loads of stretch, it's not like shearing thread or anything like that. It's just got that little bit of give. So we're gonna try this out and see if it works. I know a lot of you have probably already tried it or been using it for years. Seen it for ages, but I just for some reason didn't buy into the hype. So we're gonna give that a go. Hopefully it's good and it might up my game on my knit garments. I haven't watched any tutorials on this or anything, so I'm just going to wind my bobbin as normal, thread my machine as normal, and just put a regular straight stitch, maybe with a longer stitch length. I am going to use a walking foot because we're using a velvet fabric. Basically I'm winging it and hoping for the best. Moment of truth, machine is set up, we're ready to go. I'm just going to sew straight down the skirt front center seam. It's quite an easy seam to construct, and we'll see if this thread is worth the hype. Oh my gosh, it worked really well. Look at this seam. No lumps, no bumps. It's absolutely smooth as silk. And if you pull it, no snapping. Gonna try here as well. Give it a good tug. Nothing. Oh my gosh. Okay, I really should have jumped on this bandwagon sooner. So I'm now just putting together my back center seam, and then I'll sew up my side seams on my skirt, and then we're ready to start constructing the bodice. I was just thinking about this. This thread is a really good solution if you don't have an overlocker and you want to sew knits. And if you're not ready to make that investment to get an overlocker yet, you can still sew your knits and get a lovely finish. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I know this is old news to everyone else, but I've only just got with it, okay? I was randomly looking for something in my haberdashery drawer. Basically, it's just a drawer of doom, it's full of rubbish. And I found this really beautiful black lace trim, and I had a thought about putting it around the neckline, because how gorgeous does that look? I'm very tempted by that. I might give that a go. Morning, it's the next day now. It's not the morning, it's the afternoon actually. It's, yeah, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've got about 2 hours until I need to go and pick the kids up. Less than that. So I want to try and get as much done as possible. I have decided I want to add the lace to the neckline. So that is going to be our first task of the day. I need to think about how I'm going to finish the sleeves, because I really, really want to add the lace to the sleeves as well, but this pattern has a cuff and I think it will look a bit strange if I put the lace in the cuff somewhere. So I'm gonna have a little think about that, but I'll add the sleeves and worry about that in a minute. I think I'll probably either do an elastic channel or I'll do some shearing or something like that with the lace on the end. That would be really, really pretty, but we'll get everything else done and circle back to that in a bit. So the first thing I'm going to do to the neckline is just run it around the overlocker so those edges are finished. What a great decision that was. This is looking really pretty, but I'm not going to top stitch it just in case I change my mind, because it might be a little bit too wide around the neckline, but we'll see. Try really, really hard not to flash you right now, but what I've done is I've actually wrapped these two bodice pieces over each other by about 1 inch, and that has given me extra coverage on the neckline. And because I've got the give of this being a stretch fabric, it's easy to do, it's sitting really nicely and it still fits really well, and that has given me an extra couple of inches coverage on the bust. The other thing you could do to add some extra coverage is you could actually sew these two pieces together at the center front, so like that. So you're almost creating a straight seam here, and then you've got your neckline, and that would give you extra coverage, but I don't like how that looks with the lace. I think the wrap is going to be the best option for me, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm just easing the sleeve in. So the sleeve is slightly bigger than the bodice, so the easing needs to come from the bodice rather than the sleeve. Just attach the second sleeve, and now we are ready to add the skirt. I will overlock all the insides, but for the sake of time, because I've got to do the school run in a bit, I will do that later, because that's boring for you to watch anyway. I don't know if this is maybe a fail. I don't love it. And I don't know what the issue is, but it's not giving what I thought it was going to give. I don't know if it's just maybe an Empire line doesn't suit my body shape. I've got quite curvy hips and a smaller waist, and I just think that maybe, I don't know. I don't love it. Oh, okay, I'm back from my tantrum. Basically, I've been thinking about why this isn't working, and when I've made this dress in the past, I have made it in wovens that have clung to my body a bit more, which at the time I didn't like and has made me feel uncomfortable when I'm wearing it and stuff like that. But actually I've realised that that is for a reason, and it's to give this dress shape. And obviously with a drapey, stretchy velvet, it's not doing that. The other thing I've realised is, as a curvier girl, I like a bit of waist cinch. I like people to see that I've got a waist of some kind, and this is my smallest part here. So if anything skims over that, I just feel horrible. So I'm going to add some cinch. This is what we're doing now. I am going to add a waistband, which should be easy to do because this is stretchy. And then I'm going to add in some extra lacy detail because I think that looks really, really pretty. And then we're obviously going to sort the sleeves out because there's a lot going on here as well. So I'm hoping lots of solutions to problems are coming. We are back. I'm trying to go into this with a positive attitude today. We're going to get this dress fixed, we're going to get it finished, and it's going to be beautiful, right? I hope, I really hope. I'm not feeling that positive right now, I can't lie. I'm trying my best, but this has really wound me up, I can't lie. It was supposed to be simple, it wasn't supposed to be like this. I should have just made a coat, that probably would have been more straightforward. Last night I unpicked my skirt from my bodice. I am now going to create a waistband. I'm just going to wing it with that. I'm not going to do anything technical. I'm just going to do it by eye because it's jersey and I can get away with it, and it's a waistband. It's not anything too difficult. Famous last words. I'm just going to cut out a waistband. We are going to then straighten off the back of the bodice so that lines up with the new waistband. I'm also going to straighten off my skirt a bit and just level that out so that works with the new waistband. We'll attach the waistband with the lace detail. It's all going to go smoothly. We'll have a beautiful dress by the end of the day. It's all going to be great. This is my front waistband piece, which you might be able to see that I've shaped very, very slightly. So the bodice from this pattern obviously dips down at the side, so I wanted to kind of recreate that. I am going to adjust the back bodice and straighten it out so it works with this straight waistband that I've created here for the back. That should all be fine. So we are now going to sew these bodice pieces together, right sides to right sides, and then we are going to attach to the bodice. So I'm just about to attach the waistband. I've pinned everything in. I did actually add a small row of gathering at the back bodice because the back bodice is quite loose compared to the front in the way that it fits. It'll add a bit of extra detail as well, but that should hopefully make everything marry up pretty well. Yes, yes. This is much more the vibe. And you know what? I forgot to add the lace and I'm not mad about it. I don't think it actually needs it. I'm not gonna get upset about it. I think it's fine without. But I think what would look nice is to have it here. So you've just got an extra bit of detail as you come into the skirt. So I'm gonna do that. So, you know, it wasn't a mistake. It was all planned within my design, obviously. Hello. It's the next day and I was really hoping that I was going to attach the skirt to this dress and we were going to be in a different place and things were going to be happy, we're going to be on the home run. Nah, no. I am not feeling this still. It's not the worst thing I've ever made, but it's not working for me. I know I'm never going to wear this for a start. It's just not really, I don't know. It's just not really working. I've also cut the waistband the wrong way on the nap of the fabric. I don't like the centre seam on the skirt with the waistband being all one piece. I think that looks a bit odd. I don't like this lace around the waist because it's pulling the waist out and making that not sit flush to my body. So I'm ready to bin this off. I don't care enough about this dress to fix all those issues. I also don't have enough fabric to recut my skirt or anything like that. I think I am just done with it. I think I'm done. And I'm really annoyed about it because I really wanted my first video of the year to be positive and like chill and easygoing. And I'm really sorry that it's not been that at all. It's just been a mess. But this is the reality of sewing, experimenting with sewing and fabrics and different styles. And I do want to try and push myself this year to do that and not always sew the same things over and over again. But flip side of that is sometimes it doesn't work. And this is an occasion where it's not worked. I think I'm going to turn this into a top. I've got an idea of a pattern. It's something that I've made before a couple of times and I know it'll work because I don't need to hack it or change it or anything. I've made it also before in a velvet, but I made it as a dress and it was a mock-up really, and I used a very, very cheap fabric, so I never wear that because the fabric's horrible. So I'm thinking if I can make that as a top, a velvet version of that top pattern as a top, it will be absolutely beautiful. But it's going to be a very different vibe to this, that's for sure, because this is not the one. This is not the one. I don't hate it, I just don't love it, and I don't want something in my wardrobe that I'm never going to wear. So unfortunately, this is a sewing fail. The first one of 2025 on my first project. That is a new record for me. So what a great start to the year. I'm going to sleep on this and pause the video here. And next week, we're going to come back to this, fresh head, some positivity, and we're going to make this fabric into something beautiful. So I'm really sorry that this was not the calm, positive, uplifting start to 2025 I thought it was going to be, but hopefully we can turn this around next time. So I will see you in part 2 where we're going to try and fix this mess. This could all go horribly wrong and we might have to change it up again. This is looking very, very pretty so far. I think we fixed the fail. This is beautiful.